With the golf season fast approaching now, the weather's getting better. A lot of you are going to be starting to need your short game more because you're going to be competing in golf tournaments. So today I'm going to show you a short game practice routine that is going to help you develop your short game, start to get up and down more often. And I'm also going to show you 3 drills just to make sure that your technique is good for 3 different types of shots. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and let's get right into improving your short game. Okay, so the first technique we are going to look at is the basic chip shot. Now, the basic chip shot is probably the shot you're going to use 80 to 90% of the time around the greens, and then the other 2 shots we're going to talk about are going to be a little more specialized. The basic chip shot, the objective of this is just to simply, we've got nothing really to chip over. We're not kind of short-sighted as in we don't have much green to work with. It's just a basic chip shot where it's kind of bounce the ball halfway there and let it run out the other half, okay? So I'm going to go into this flag here, you can see from that camera angle. And the basic chip, essentially, first of all, I've got to understand, like, where do I want this ball to land? Okay, I want to land it just on the green there and let it run out the rest of the way. Okay, so now how do I make sure that I'm able to do that consistently? So with the setup, we got to make sure that we don't get it too far back. A lot of people, when they're chipping, you guys do this, you get it too far back and then you're very steep on it. You can, very much dig into the ground too much, or you can lift up trying to avoid the dig, so you're getting either duff shots, fat shots, or thin shots. Very hard to control the distance as well because it's very wristy, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make sure the ball is either in the middle or slightly forward in the stance, okay? Then our feet width is about 2 club head widths apart. Doesn't need to be any wider because this is not a power shot. This is a very much finesse shot, if you will. And then what we want to do is we want to lean forward. So we want our spine to be tilted towards the target. We want our weight to be on the left side. And we don't want to be leaning back trying to help the ball in the air because, again, that's going to cause issues with our contact and the consistency of our contact. So we want to be leaning over about 60-65% on this side, spine angle tilted over. This is going to be most of our shots around the greens. And then we just want to make sure we don't get the hands too far forward, keep them back. And now you're in the perfect setup for this basic chip shot. And what you're going to be able to do, why this is great, is because you're going to be able to really control the loft that's on that club when it returns to the golf ball. Okay, if it's too far back, you can do this, you get less loft, or you can do this and you get more loft. So it's very hard to control the loft. If we can be consistent with that loft, then we can be consistent with where we're trying to land the golf ball. Okay, so then with the technique, once you have the setup, the technique is very simple. All we're going to do is just make sure that we're going to rotate the hips as we take the club back on a straight line. It's simple as that. Rotate the hips, take the club back, like this. We're not using the wrists to take the club back, we're using the shoulders, keeping the arms in this straight motion, and then using our hips to help create the momentum. That is all we're going to do for this basic chip. And you can see that it's very easy for me to just land the club at the same spot every time. Okay? And this way it also helps me really use the bounce of the club so that I'm gliding along the surface just before the ball, clipping the ball, and then coming off the surface just after the ball. So it's a nice little technique that is very easy to repeat. It's very good to repeat the same loft that applies to the golf ball, and very easy for you to be very consistent with your striking. There we go, landed it just on the green and it's rolled up beside the hole. But I can repeat that over and over again with this technique because all I'm essentially doing is, once I'm in setup, rotating the hips and keeping the arms straight. Look at that, those 2 balls are right beside each other. And that's what we're looking for around the greens. We want to be able to land the golf ball. We want to be consistent with our landing points, right? And then it's much easier for you to go out in the golf course and pick landing spots and be better around the greens and actually hit those landing spots. It's okay if you can see a shot, but if you can't execute it, then you're going to be in trouble. That one came out a bit lower, but again, very similar shot. Okay, so the next shot we're going to talk about here then is more of a pitch shot. So this could be anywhere from 30 yards right up to about 60, 70 yards, depending on the club you have and your distances. Essentially what this is this is going to be more of a higher lofted shot. It's going to spend more time in the air and it's going to stop a bit quicker when it hits the ground. So it's essentially further away. But the beautiful thing about it is technique setup is very much the same. The basic chip shot I showed you, right? Where you've got the weight forward, spine angles tilted forward. We still take it back. Okay, we still take it back with the hips and the arms going back straight together. But what we do is we just add a little bit of a wrist set here. Okay, We keep the arm straight, but we just add a little bit of a wrist set. And then from there, we're going to rotate through and release that wrist set into the ground where the ball is, okay? So it's very much just adding a little set and then releasing it through. So let's give that a go. Nice contact. Ball stops pretty quick. Hit that a little too firm. So again, this is going to make it very easy as well to be consistent because it's the same feel as your basic chip. You're essentially, when you are doing your basic chip, you're practicing that all the time like this. All you're doing is adding a little set and a little release to the shot. And it's going to make it much easier for you to work on both things, as all it is just a little set over just doing the basic chip. So very much looks the same. We just add the wrist in there. We can get more height, we can get more spin, and we can stop the ball a lot quicker. But it's going to be good if you've got a chip over. Let's say, for example, you had a chip over a bunker, or you've got a chip over a mound, or you just want to get the ball to stop a lot quicker. You can really launch it up a good bit higher, get it to stop a good bit quicker. Okay, so same setup, ball slightly forward, feet close together, weight on the front side, spine tilted towards the target. From there, hips and arms together, add a bit of a set, and then release it down, keeping yourself turning through the shot. That's very important. You must keep turning the body through. Don't try and do it with the arms only, because it's obviously a less powerful shot. It's very easy to stop moving the body. That's why we get the feet close together. That's why we lean here and we use the hips and the arms together to create the motion. Okay, so the final shot here is the flop shot, okay? A shot that a lot of people want to hit. A lot of people want to use it when they don't need to, but I'm in a situation here now where there's a little tree just right in front of me here, as you can see there. So I know, yes, I could go underneath it, but I wanted to find an obstacle where I had to go over. I can go under here, but let's imagine that it wasn't possible to go under here, so we have to go over. Now I'm also going to focus on the front pin there. If you take a look, you can see that front pin, so I've got to get it over this tree pretty quick. I got to land it on that front pin. So I'm going to show you how to hit that shot. First of all, I'm going to show you how to set up to it. So how we set up to this is very much the same as a bunker shot, okay? So you can take this for your bunker shots as well. So what you want to do is you want to get wide with your feet. You don't want to aim left, okay? Because it makes it very hard to control the speed and the distance. You want to keep yourself aiming square. Wide with the feet. If you draw a line back from the back of that golf ball, it should hit the inside of your front heel, okay? We're going to then lean our weight forward. We're going to have our spine as well as with the other short game shots tilted forward towards the target, not tilted back, just because I know there's a tree there. You might want to lift it up over the tree. Tilt it forward, okay? We're also going to lay the club flat on the ground like this. And we're going to be very, very much leaning forward onto this side, okay? But what we are going to do is we're going to keep the hands back. It's going to help us, because if I keep the hands forward, that shot is going straight right. So the more I keep the hands back, the straighter this shot is going to go. So I got to keep the hands back. I've got my weight forward. And the feel here in the swing is very much the same as a bunker. We're very much trying to keep this right arm in nice and close. We're hinging it up and we're dropping it right in on the golf ball, okay? That's why we have the ball forward. That's why we lean forward, so we can get the height, we can have the face open, and we can pop it up, okay? So what I would recommend doing is just practicing where you're landing the club over and over. Do it smooth at first. Try and get the right landing spot of the club where the ball would be, right underneath it. And then come back, set up to it, and give it a go. Just clipped the top of it, but I got over. Okay, we are quite close to this tree, but we are over and we're on putting. So let me try again. I'm gonna add a little bit more speed to this. Okay. Ball forward, weight forward, club's flat, hands are back, pick it up. There we go, right over. And there we go, giving ourselves a 2-footer for par. And the good thing about this shot is it does stop very quick. So if you're short-sighted as well, if you're really short-sighted, even if you don't have something like this to chip over, you can use this shot to stop the ball pretty quick. But let's have one more go at it. Ball forward, very much set up like a bunker shot. Spine tilted forward, and I'm very much just going to pick it up and drop it in. And there we go. And even on that one, I actually caught that kind of heavy because of my technique, because of the way I'm set up. I still got through it, I still got the ball to pop up, and I still got over that tree. So there's your 3 shots that I want you to practice in the upcoming weeks to bring you into a position where you're going to be able to get up and down a lot more, and you're going to be able to score a lot better, and you're not always going to have to rely on your long game in order to score. Really start working on the short game. Master the basic chip shot, absolutely. Start working on the basic pitch shot, which is very similar to the chip shot. You just got to add a bit of wrist set. And then after that, you can work on the flop shot. It's there if you need it. But again, it's going to be like 2-3% of the time that you're going to need that shot, but it's there if you need it. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. And if you are a returning viewer, we appreciate your support here at Alexander Golf. And guys, leave a comment, let me know what you want to see next, and we'll see you in the next one.